there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of 31 Days of Halloween. I'm Chad with 1637 Productions, and this is my lovely partner, Ileana Marin from 1637 Productions, and we're here with Greg again today from the Trinity Film Group.
Hi, everyone, yeah.
Unfortunately, Anthony couldn't join us today, but he'll be here next week, so.
But we got Ileana again.
Yeah, we have Ileana, finally! Yeah! So this week, some great scary movies again. Monday's film, and this one is my personal favorite of the week, is The Haunting from 1963, based on Shirley Jackson's novel, The Haunting of Hill House. They did remake it in '99, but this is the original film version. It's great. I love it.
I think, for me, some of the techniques for scary films, I just think they really did a great job with, especially a lot of the camera movements. I think there's the one time with now Eleanor's walking into that room, and the camera's like following her to the side, and then suddenly she gets into the middle of the room, and the camera just tracks back really fast, and it really shows just how large that room is. A lot of the movement throughout the film, you know, with the statues outside in that garden area, when she's looking up and the camera just pulls back or goes, you know, a lot of times it'll go low beneath them. Just some of those techniques, and then especially the sound in the film. Mm-hmm. I think the sound is something they never show, like the ghosts or the scariness, but there's just the banging that drives, you know, the two girls insane. Mm-hmm. It's just, I really love those aspects of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, the breathing door.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was phenomenal. That was really spooky. And then we learned after the fact, we read a little bit about the movie, and we learned that somebody was doing that with a big piece of wood. You mm-hmm. said that they were like with a
Yeah, they had a crew member, yeah.
Yeah, they thought it...
And it was a laminate door.
Yeah, laminate. And people thought it was latex, but yeah,
mm-hmm.
it was really wood.
Yeah.
It was a really cool effect for, you know, special effects back then, doing it on camera.
Yeah. One great thing that they did with this film, I noticed it, but I wasn't quite sure what it was that felt so off about everything. All the angles are filmed from the opposite point of view. Usually it's from the point of view of an actor or kind of stationary. Everything was filmed, like you said, almost as if the statue's point of view watching them, or the house's eyes watching them. Mm-hmm. My personal favorite part, and the scariest part to me, is towards the beginning when they hear the knocking, and Eleanor she's half asleep.
She thinks it's her mother, and yeah.
Yeah, so that was great film. So if you haven't seen that, you really got to watch that. So our second film, and I have two favorites? I guess The Haunting's my favorite, but this is a great one too. Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford in 2000's What Lies Beneath.
Yeah, it's such a great cast, but I think this is one of I think maybe the only that Harrison Ford's the bad guy, because I think even in the trailer it says something about the perfect husband, because mm-hmm. no one suspects anything that he would do anything wrong, and then you find out later on that he has a secret that he's pretty much buried out in the lake that comes out, and mm-hmm. It's just, especially that ending scene when he goes in, he thinks to save her and grabs her, and it's just, I like the movie. I think just overall the way it's written, the way it's shot, the story, how it unfolds, really good.
Yeah, I love Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, that actress has not aged a day in so many years. She looks exactly the same.
She does, yeah.
But her performance is just, she's so good, very convincing. And yeah, like you said, the writing, the flow of the story, you think that you figured it out. Mm-hmm. And then, no, you didn't figure it out. It's not, because she thinks that the husband murdered the wife next door, and that's who's haunting her. And then she does find out about the affair he had, and you think that she did commit suicide. Mm-hmm. And then it gets crazy, and she's getting possessed by that woman. It's so good.
Some good twists with the effects that they do between the dead girl and then also his
mm-hmm.
wife.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you said you saw it.
I saw it in Budapest.
Okay, so in Hungary.
Yeah, in Hungary.
I'm always interested. Did they dub it, or was it?
It was dubbed in Hungary. They used to dub the movies. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But still, the effects were all there. Everything was great, and yeah.
Did it scare you?
Oh yeah.
Because I know you don't.
I
doesn't
don't like scary movies.
But she's so nice enough to join us and talk about them, so we torture her by making her watch them.
Yeah, so this one's a great one too, so you'll have to watch that. It's What Lies Beneath. So, third was Wednesday's film, 1987's Opera.
I love how, I always am the first one. You all look at me first.
I know.
But, one of my scenes that it's just really creepy, and for the main girl, how he tapes her eyes and with the needles underneath her, so if she blinks, it's just it's just, to me, that's it kind of reminds me of what Clockwork Orange with like being forced
To
and
watch.
like your eyes over time you've got to blink.
Yeah.
But it's just to watch those murders and stuff and just.
And she's trying so hard not to blink, and you can see. And I did love it. There were a couple of shots where they set the camera up and they put, I don't know what it is, they put in front. So it's like you're her eyeballs watching through these needles, and you see tears going down, trying not to.
It's like a tortured. Eventually your eyes.
And the worst murder, in my opinion, is the costume mistress. He stabs her with a pair of scissors, the big scissors that cut the fabric. But then he is wearing a bracelet or something, and it falls into her mouth. So he uses the scissors to pry open her mouth when he can't get it. Now, mind you, she didn't watch the whole time. But the awesome thing is they never show anything, but it insinuates.
Just the sound.
You see, he can't get it out of her mouth, so he takes the scissors and cuts her throat open and pulls it out. Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yuck. And what was with the Sound of Music landscape at the end of the movie? I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like all of a sudden she's...
Like everything.
It's like I'm running through these fields and you expect Nazis to be chasing her, but nope, they're in Switzerland and it's broad daylight, and somehow the director thought that was terrifying. So, all right, well, Thursday's film, it's a good one too. They're all good this week. Is 2007's Trick or Treat with Anna Paquin, Leslie Bibb. A great cast. Actually, a lot of the cast at the time when it came out were all in these TV shows, like True Blood and Kyle XY. What's the other one?
I can't think.
Dead Like Me. And
I'll tell you what. This was the first time I saw this film, and I loved it how they tied the urban legends together and like kind of, it starts with
Leslie.
She's at the beginning, coming, and she puts out the jack-o'-lantern, and her husband's like, you shouldn't do that. But then how like each kind of story you kind of see just like either the beginning portion of what happened then. But my favorite, I think, is Brian Cox being the bus driver, but at his place, and the little kid of the jack-o'-lantern, whatever he is.
I think it's freaky.
It's freaky. It's like innocent but freaky, but just I felt like that whole portion of the movie could have been a movie by itself. Just with what was happening when he goes upstairs because the dog's up there, and it's like you hear the yelp, and he goes up there and that just jack-o'-lantern just bursts into flames, and it's got all like trick or treat, give me something good to eat written all over the ceiling, the walls.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
And the film is actually based, I believe, on a graphic novel that was written.
They show that in the graphics.
Throughout.
It says later.
I think for me, my favorite part was probably, I don't know, it's so hard. There's so many good ones, but the kids when they go down to the rock quarry, which has a lake in it now, and they're scaring the other girl, but the girl gets hurt, and so they're packing up, and they're blowing out the candles in the jack-o'-lantern. There's one jack-o'-lantern left, and the hateful girl kicks it into the lake, and then since the jack-o'-lanterns are out, which is what protects you from evil spirits, they start coming after them, and then the girl they were trying to scare, smart girl, locks herself in the elevator, holds the jack-o'-lantern, and goes up to the top and leaves them. Whatever, serves them right. I guess they shouldn't have scared her.
Yeah.
Well, the part that stayed with me was that we're all led to believe that Anna was the victim, and yet it is the girls who are werewolves, and they're out there to kill the guys. So that was...
That's a little fun twist, though, with Little Red Riding Hood, and then she's actually the werewolf.
Yeah.
That was a good twist. I didn't see that coming either.
And I love that this whole film is set in Ohio.
Yeah, Warren, Ohio, which is up north. But.
Yeah. Have you noticed a lot of scary movies that have come out in the past 10 years, they're all set, a lot of them are set in Ohio.
Or the Midwest, but yeah.
Or the Midwest, but yeah, it's funny to me because I never noticed that until I moved to Ohio. So the last film on Friday is called The Fog, no pun intended. This is the remake, not the original with Jamie Lee Curtis. This is the one with Tom Welling, and I don't know who else was in it, but...
It was a pretty good cast.
Yeah, it was
I can't remember the actress in the radio tower, but I like her. I can't think of her name.
That wasn't Selma, no.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, for this film, I mean, it's not really like scary, but it's got good visuals. But I think one of the moments that really jumps out at me, kind of terrified me, was the babysitter when she's like protecting the little boy, and she goes up to the sink and she's looking out there, and suddenly like the hand comes out and grabs her, and then she starts to turn and like melt away, and that kind of made me jump.
Yeah,
I might have been doing something else at the same time, and it was just kind of jump, but it was a good scare.
This film, I just watched this the other day, so I had seen it when it came out in theaters, but I remember why I couldn't remember any of it. It's not that good. I mean, for instance, the rating on Rotten Tomatoes is 4%, and the film was released before the critics actually got to review it.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Very
Get this out,
sly.
get this out. Yeah.
Yeah, Fangoria, at the Fangoria Festival or the awards, it won the Worst Film Award. At Stinker's Bad Movie Awards, it won the Least Scary Horror Movie Award. So,
Nice, yeah.
yeah.
That's
So-
exactly the words you want to win, right? When you're
Exactly,
filmmaker.
exactly. It's
Ed
like,
Wood style.
it's like the Razzies. You want to win an award for the worst actor, worst picture, whatever. Yeah. Well, thanks again for joining us for episode 3 of 31 Days of Halloween. If you haven't yet, please check out our company, 1637 Productions, on Facebook, and our friends, the Trinity Film Group. Like us, subscribe to our YouTube channels, and keep watching for more fun prizes and more films to come. And also, on the 31st, you will get to see our live Halloween party. So, until then, watch out for werewolves.
Arrivederci.
Bye.
Bye.